Alright, kind of a late start today, but let's get right into it. I am Wallaber. I'm working on Pro Gymnast. This is my gymnastics, acrobatics action game. Today I have just kind of a few tasks here I want to knock out. Let's have a look here. Oh, I already did one of these. Nice. Making great progress already. Let's see. What do we want to do first? Alright. So I recently added an object into the game. What do I call it? Grab wheel. This. Which kind of is cool, two rings you can grab onto and swing around. And I'm realizing that I also have these things called bar spinners, like this. Excuse that weird white image there. And on this type I also have this kind, which is motorized. And I'm realizing I need a motorized version of this. So we need to make one of those. I think let's have a look at the motorized one I already made. Okay, so I believe this has this motorized rotor script on it. That talks to a joint. Okay. So this is the majority of what I need to make this work. Let's go try it. So let's go to... Actually, let me quickly look at this joint. Yeah, I added an angular X drive to this with some values. It was 10,500. What is the... mass is 30. Okay. So let's go to grab wheel medium. We're going to duplicate that and call this grab wheel powered. Okay, go here. This wheel, let's make these values match. So 30. And then we want the rotation drive mode to be X and Y Z, and we want the angular X drive to have some values. Let's go find out what I did again here. Where was it? Here. This joint. Okay. The spring has a strength of 10,000 and the damper is 500. Okay. If they're good enough for that prop, they should be good enough for this other one. 10,000 and 500. So we go here. We go down to angular X drive. This becomes 10,000 and this becomes 500. Okay. Now we go to the main object here and we add a rotor, motorized rotor. Okay. It's going to use it's going to need an input signal, so we'll have to add that. It's a motor on a signal. The reference joint is this one. Rotates around the joint's x-axis. Okay. Okay. Now, the way I test these is I just throw one into the scene. Like this. and then we run the game. It takes a few more steps to add an object in to where you can go into this list here and create them. So before I do that, I just add one directly into the scene. That skips a bunch of those steps. And now look at this, we have a rotation speed. Okay, let's attach to it and see. Okay, it's spinning. That's a good start. All right. Okay. Let's test going faster. 360. Nice. Pretty consistent. Okay, and let's make sure we can reverse the rotation direction if we want to go the other way. We can. All right. Cool. So that's the basic functionality. Now, so this thing has a signal for when you grab it, and let's go look at this. See, this one has two signals. One that lights up when you grab it, but another signal you can pipe in to rotate it. So we want something like that for this. And I'm thinking we need a visual as well to show that this thing is motorized. A fun option would be like a little motor with a pulley, like a belt. I don't know, that shouldn't be too difficult, right? I guess I have to use like scrolling UVs or something on the belt. Getting that speed right is probably going to be hard to make it look accurate. Let's see. So for that to work, we would want essentially like behind here. Okay, so we would be like add a cylinder into this world here. This is going to be the, yeah, we'll keep this pretty simple, but this is going to be the pulley in the back, right back here. Yeah, put it like there-ish maybe. Okay, now let's make this thinner. Maybe like that big. Now we don't want it to be as big as the whole grab wheel, so about 0.75. Okay, and then we're going to keep this pretty simple, but we will go like this, and I'm gonna just make a little groove in this thing. Actually, yeah. So like that. Oops. Okay. Cut some more edge loops like this. And then I can grab these center ones, scale them around everything but the x-axis. Like that. And then we'll grab the center ring and scoot it in a little bit. Okay, so there's our pulley, or the basics of it. Okay, now let's make a smaller one. Let's make this last like 16-ish. Okay, so this is going to be like this big. We're going to have it like over to the side somewhere where the motor is mounted. We'll do it similar to the other one, which had a gear, or sort of a simplified gear. So let's do that. So now let's go to the side view here. This is going to be lined up like this. Same general dimensions here. Okay, so we need what? 1, 2, 3, 5 cuts. Grab these. Make those about the same. Okay. Oh, I think I'm 1 cut short. That's okay. Because we can just go like this. Put these out right about here. Bring it in. Cut the center. Bring that in. Okay. Alright, so there's roughly our pulleys. Both of these need smoothing on. There we go. Okay, cool. Now I need to make a little belt going around this. We're going to keep this super simple. Let's see, what's the easiest way to model that? Probably just go like this. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to grab, let's see. This is going to come off of here and go to there. So we need from here. And then we need around this thing until roughly here, right? Okay. So we copy those faces, separate them. So now we just have, if I can grab it, there we go. We just have this little piece here. Okay, now let's go do the same thing over here. Okay, so this one, we're going to come off here. We're probably going to attach roughly here. And then we're going to work our way around. All the way around. Oops, not that one. Okay. Alright, we're getting close. Let's see. Probably one more. Okay, copy those, separate those. So now I can go to this object, go to the side view here. Well, let's just do this. Can I grab just this? Here, we'll hide this guy. Hide this guy. Okay, these two join. Now, can I just get rid of this? How do I do that? Edge. I think there's a way. Like dissolve edge or something like that, if I remember correctly. Like if I go like this. was it? I mean, let me just do this the slightly slower but good enough way. We're going to get rid of that center bit. Same thing here. We're going to get rid of that. And then can we go bridge edge loops? Look at that. That's what we want. And I think we can just do that over here too. Bridge edge loops. There we go. Okay. Now we can go here, here, connect those. Here, here, connect those. Yeah, I got that pretty close. Oh, hey, what's up, Kessel's Game Studio? Thanks for jumping in the chat. Looks like a roller coaster. Yeah, it does. Are you also a game maker? Sounds like it from the title. What do you make? What are you working on? All right, let's see. I should start naming these objects pretty soon. But this, now I should be able to do extrude along normals and make. Oh, that's weird. Oh, normals must be flipped. Okay, undo, undo. Yeah, they are. These ones flip, and this, and this. Mesh, normals, flip. Nope, nope. Grab the face. There we go. Okay, now they're all pointed in the right direction, and I should be able to thicken this up like that. Right? Zombie restaurant game. Oh, that sounds cool. Actually, I feel like I saw something about a game like that. Maybe it's the game you're working on. Maybe on Twitter or something. There we go. Cool. This is looking pretty good, right? So the idea is that this thing will spin, and then I'll just have to put some kind of simple, like, animated texture on this pulley part. So I need like a little motor here. We're going to keep this very simple though. Let's just make another. Everything's a cylinder apparently. Okay. There we go. Come on over here. Centered. Thank you. Let's see. That's kind of like the rough size, I think. Okay. Yeah. And this is just, you know, this doesn't have to be the world's greatest motor. Let's just give this a little something here, and then on the back end of this, whoops, it's beveled as well, but simplified like that. Should smooth, auto smoothing. Ooh, a little tight, so this is a 35. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now there's no like, we need like a linkage between these. And these pulleys, I feel like they need something like here. Let's do inset face. Like it comes in a little bit, and then we inset it one more time. And just give it like a little, you know. Oh, and for that to look okay, we're gonna need to go like this, and go like this, and go edge, mark sharp. There we go. That's more of a pulley kind of feel. Let's do the same thing to this one. So inset a little bit, then inset more. Slide that in a little bit. Mark sharp. Okay. Technically that should probably be the case on the back side as well. You're not really going to see that, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Now, let's add a little linkage here. So let's actually just do this a simple way. We're going to come in like this, quite a ways. And then we'll just extrude that. Okay. So there's our system. Now we need to give this some basic UVs. Let's go here. Okay, let's see. How many separate objects do I need? This, I think I've got this right. I need this to be separate from this, and then this to be separate. Okay, so this is grab wheel pulley large. This is grab wheel pulley small. This is grab wheel belt. And this is grab wheel motor. Okay. Alright, the motor, like, we don't need much in terms of UVs on this. Just enough so that the texture won't look dumb. So we'll mark those as seams and just unwrap it. Maybe we're gonna need one more seam on the bottom. Mark seam, unwrap. Okay, and a little bigger. Okay. Now these pulleys, I think we're just gonna want like this, plus one seam like that. Okay. Mark that. Unwrap. Looks pretty good. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's go to this one. Okay, we'll add a seam here, 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 and here. And then once again, one along here like this, and one along the bottom here somewhere. Okay, unwrap that. Sweet. Make that much bigger. Okay. Okay, now this belt. This is the key. I want this to have UVs that. Ooh, actually, hang on. Let's grab this. Let's look at this. We want this to be heading straight off like that. Okay, so we want the UVs on this thing, let's look at it by itself, to be in a straight line so we can scroll the UVs. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to add a seam all the way around like this. Okay, and then let me think about this. Let's mark alright, let's put one seam around the whole thing, like right here. Okay, if I unwrap that, what do I get? Oh, okay, that's close. That's very close. Now I can use this feature I'm slowly learning how to use. So what we do, we're going to grab this whole thing, rotate it 90 degrees, and we're going to go to one of these quads, like let's say this one here, and we're going to make this thing squared up by just lining up the verts. Okay. Then what we do is we go here. Which quad is that? It's going to be on one end. There it is, that one. So we're going to grab this whole thing, then make that the active quad. And you can hit U, and you can say follow active quads, and it's going to line everything up. Look at that. Okay, so now what we want is this thing to be scaled up so that we're using the whole texture in the Y direction. Ish. Like that. And then what we can do is we'll be scrolling this like this. And it should look now like, you know, some kind of belt moving along. We might want to compress it this way a little bit. I don't know. Depends on the texture. Okay. That's pretty cool though. Alright. What else do we need to do? Save. Let's go back to Unity. Alright. So, this main wheel object has all these meshes. Now we're going to add another one, which is going to be the pulley mesh. Okay. Search for pulley. Oh, really? Grab wheel. Oh, maybe I didn't name those properly. Let's go back here. Oh, I didn't. I often make this mistake in Blender. I will name the... Because it used to be the case where if you named the... If you wanted the name to come over into Unity after their import process, you would want to change the name of the mesh object inside Blender. But now, in more recent versions, you actually want to change the name of the object itself in Blender. So this needs to be grab wheel pulley large. This needs to be grab wheel pulley small. This needs to be grab wheel belt. And this needs to be grab wheel motor. Save it again. Let's come back. Okay, so our pulley mesh. Now if we search for pulley, should be in there. There it is. Okay. And we wanted this back, what, 0.4? Looks like. Okay. We're going to want a different material on this, like, yeah, probably just like dark metal like that. Although we might want the belt to be more visible. I don't know. What else have I got? Yeah. Let's try the dark. Okay. Then, on the main object, we'll do create empty, and this is the motor. Let's go find out where this was. So this object is at 0, negative 2.1, because that makes sense. Let's make this negative 2 in the scene here. So that means this should be negative 2. Means this needs to be over by 1, so negative 3.1. Which means this needs to be negative 3.1. Which means this needs to be negative 3.1. Okay, so it was basically the motor is at... whoop. And this needs to be negative 2. And this. Okay. So if this was at negative 2 and the motor was at negative 3.1, it's over 1.1 and it's down 1. So we want this to be over 1.1 and down 1, I think. Now we can add just a cube, get rid of the collider, and set this to be the motor. Okay, cool. Where was it? This was negative 0.4, this was negative 0.8. Alright, so there's our motor. Kind of gives us a basis for positioning the rest of this stuff. Let's do motor mesh. Okay. Now we need motor pulley, which is going to be a small pulley. This one should be at 0.4, right? Let's put the same material on this as the other one. There we go. The motor itself, yeah, just some kind of metal for now. And then we're gonna need the pulley, or the belt, sorry. So, belt mesh. Okay. This. Cool. Oh. Did we not line up quite right? We did not. Let's see. Where's my math off? We're saying this whole thing needs to be -1. -1.1. Ah, there we go. Okay. That looks pretty cool. We're probably going to need a different material for this. I don't know if I've got something right now that makes sense. But that's the basics. Okay. So mostly what we'll need now is we'll need, oh wait, right. So we have an on-grabbed connector here, which is making less and less physical sense for it to be placed right there. I don't really know if I want to put it all the way back here though. Maybe I do. Like that. Okay, so this is signal connector for grab. Then we would duplicate that. And we put one over here on the motor. Kind of makes sense. Connect it like this. And this is signal connector rotate. So this one is right, we need to connect this to kind of a strange thing here. So what I gotta do is get me a second inspector for a second. We're gonna lock this. And we'll go over to this one because we want this one's signal source to be this? No. How does that work again? I can't remember. I think I have to add one. Let me go remind myself how I did this. So if we go look at this, no, not this. This. It's got, yeah, it has to have a signal processor added to it. And the motorized rotor gets connected to that signal processor. Okay, cool. Let's copy this. Copy. Okay, now we'll go back to our grab wheel powered. We're gonna paste this component in. Okay, so this signal processor is going to be the one that can notify the rotor to spin. It's an input type. And now I got to go here, lock this, go to a separate inspector, go here, so that this guy's processor can be marked as this. Okay. I think I got most of that. Let's check. So now my powered grab wheel, which is still just cheesed into the scene here. Right? If I go into signal mode, now we have a rotate input and we have a when grabbed. So let's test if this works. If I connect this to itself. Okay. Then I add just like a regular bar up here somewhere. Okay, it's not spinning. You grab it, start spinning. You let go, stop spinning. Nice. Okay, got some potential bugs there, but the basics are working. Cool. All right. Okay. So, motorized grab wheel. Next step is visual rotations and the belt UV animation. And look at the reset logic. Okay. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today. But I made some progress on a new prop. That's cool. This is one I need because it's going to fix one of the early levels in the game and make it much more reliable. So definitely worth doing. And we'll be back tomorrow to keep working through the task list. Thanks for watching and see you around.